drawn up by a bunch of people in the finance department who never have to fucking go anywhere, okay? In order to find that vastly cheaper ticket, you actually have to search Waterloo to Exeter St David's and type in via Salisbury. Okay? Unless you do that, the computer, the algorithm will not show you that ticket. Not because it's cheaper, it's a lot cheaper, not because it's nicer, it's actually a lot nicer. Okay? You might need to go to a three-story construction, who knows? Okay? But because it's slower. There's an assumption that we want to save time. And this even comes across with a massive row that recently surfaced online, which is Google Maps refuses to offer scenic routes because they might be biased. Okay, so actually, it's somehow considered objective to optimize around short distances, short times, even if it routes you to an area which is downright dangerous, presumably. Okay, but actually saying, why don't you take a bit more time and go the nice way? No, apparently that's biased. And then you get the whole question of what happens when you give a load of engineers a brief. And I always ask the question, if you'd taken the brief for High Speed 2, what would have happened if you hadn't given the brief to a load of engineering firms who would be focused on speed, time, distance, and what if you give the brief to They said, first of all, we're going to rewrite the question. The right question is, how do we make the train journey between London and Manchester so enjoyable people feel stupid going by car? That's the right question, okay? It's not about time, speed, those things only obliquely or tangentially actually correlate with human behavior, human preference. Disney there will be asking the right question. Why is that question never get asked? Because it's an open-ended question. And business people, governments, politicians aren't looking to solve problems, they're looking to win arguments. And the way you win an argument is you pretend that what should be an open-ended question with many possible right answers, make it enjoyable, have to do the train, put Wi-Fi on the train, have a ball pit on the train for kids, so the discount. Those are multiple results subjected to toothpaste and human, what you might call human government. Okay? You can't win an argument today. What you do is you pretend this is a high-skill maths problem with a single right answer, you solve the right answer with a high-skill maths, and then nobody can argue that you can't take decisions. You simply follow the data. Okay? This is a massive problem in decision, that we try and close down the solution space of any problem in order to arrive at a single right answer, which is different to our. It's fundamentally a massive creative opportunity problem. And yet, there are brilliant examples all over the place of people tweaking time subjectively. This is one of my favorites, the Uber map. It doesn't change how long you wait for the taxis, it changes the quality of the waiting time by reducing uncertainty. Actually, if you look at human emotion, although humans might say, I don't like waiting for a taxi, what actually makes them uneasy is the uncertainty of the arrival of the lapping truck. It's not actually duration. So we're optimizing for time, speed. We're not optimizing for the emotional state, which is quiet or anxiety. As you can see, advertising, you can rebrand time. There are quite a few cases of this. Good things come to those who wait. What was the one downside of Guinness? Bartenders hated it because it took sodding ages to pour. Okay? In fact, if you want to make bar staff hate you, you just put an order for drinks, and then a crisp, and then Ed ended up with a pint of Guinness. Okay? And they think, shit, I could have been pouring that while you were telling me about the other crap. Okay? Take a weakness, turn it into a strength. There's also the whole question of time that we regard it as a kind of commodity, as if it's fungible, as if it's 10 times I'm not going to have time to read it now. This is a different paper by Paul Gray and the founder of Y Combinator called Making Schedule Management. The mere consequence sometimes worry a whole day. In other words, if you try and break up your day into lots of little chunks of time, your productivity is massively destroyed, even though the time available is pretty much notionally the same. One of the worst mistakes we ever made was we made email instantaneous. We should have built in a 2-hour buffer, unless you flagged the email as time sensitive or urgent. Why is that? Because now everybody has to check their email every 10 or 15 minutes on the off chance that someone has sent them a time-sensitive email. So the burden falls on the receiver, which means everybody, rather than the sender, which means one person, to actually sift the urgent message from the important content. It is literally a productivity disaster. In fact, a total catastrophe. No one talks about it. Really honest. This is a fundamental catastrophe. The fact that people have, in fact, one of the greatest ways to improve the problem is just setting your server to only check the emails about everything. There's an extraordinary case. I mentioned this bias towards time zones, the faster the much the better. And I've got to be careful to preserve anonymity here. Someone I know who's a really, really good expert in transport stuff and does research on their children, I think, in case they don't want to know, found out in research that quite a lot of people, quite a lot of the time, actually enjoy commuting. They enjoy the commute home much more than the commute to work. I think, if I'm right, men enjoy it a bit more than women. That's, as I said, men a bit like skyboxes. We've got a standby mode, okay? We like a bit of staring. Look at coarse fishing, 95% male.